If you are wondering why the dismissive avoidant in your life is avoiding having a conversation about some serious issues that you're having, you have come to the right place. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is Dismissible Me, where I discuss only dismissive avoidant attachment, specifically my own. So join the journey, hit the like button, subscribe for my daily uploads Monday through Friday, and let me know where you're watching from. If you would like to see me break something down in a future video, leave that down in the comment section as well. And be sure to join the conversation. Let's keep it going in the comments. Okay, why does a dismissive avoidant avoid discussing or addressing important issues in the relationship? And the number one reason for that is I'm not ready to address it. They're not ready to address it. For that person, it may not be the right time. They may not have anything to say, or what is an important issue to you may not be an important issue to that person. You know, I always say communication is key. It depends on the issue. Is this an issue that is this an issue that you're constantly having a thing with, or is this a one-time situation? If it is one-time situational, it may in fact be that what this important issue is to you is not to this person. So if I don't find it important, I'm not going to address it because it's not, to me, it's not my problem. It's your problem. Again, I'm not saying whether this is right or wrong. I'm just giving you the thought process. That's your problem. And depending on how you're bringing it up, you may be bringing it up in a way that doesn't necessarily register to me that this is important. So if you don't necessarily pull me aside and say, hey, we need to have a serious conversation about this, because yes, I do like a warning before I have a serious conversation. I don't know that it's serious. Sometimes people want to be passive aggressive or, I'm trying to give them the hint. Don't give people the hint. Be direct. If you can't be direct, you're going to struggle with getting the results you want. The other part of not addressing the issues is not wanting to address it. So there may be a situation where it's not important to me, it's not registering, it's not on my radar, it's not something that I would think or consider, given everybody's got a different background. And different things are important to different people. There also could be a situation where what is an important issue to you is something that I feel is part of who I am, and I feel like I cannot change. Now, of course, we know that this is not true, but that's a real thing. So if you're complaining to me or trying to address an issue to me about something that has to do with me, and I think that it's part of my normal behavior and I can't change it, or it's very comfortable to me, well, then I might not address it because I feel like I've already addressed it. I'm not going to change it. Sometimes my lack of entertaining a conversation, especially in the past, had to do with there's no point in me just having a 20-minute conversation with somebody to come to the same conclusion that I'm going to come to in 30 seconds, which is I'm not going to change. I'm not going to address this issue, not because it's not important to me, but because I don't care to change this issue, or it's too uncomfortable for me, so I'm not going to address it at all. I'd rather you just continue to text me about it, or you could, especially for somebody who's not direct, if I know that you're only going to bring it up in a roundabout way, I'm going to completely ignore, because, oh yes, I got the hint. I just understand that you're not going to be direct. So if you're not going to be direct, I'm not going to be direct. I'm not going to do anything about it. This is why you have to be a good communicator, because there are people that definitely understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. Whether or not they've actually sat down and with themselves to think about it, we all know the motivations why we do the things that we do. But so yeah, sometimes I know, boop, excuse my alarm. Sometimes I know, and I just am stubborn and I'm not going to change. If you're asking me to change things very early on that are big to me, I'm going to probably ignore that too, because There's a difference for me between behaviors that are problematic to any relationship, right? We know what those things are: the lack of communication, not reciprocating, things like that. And then there are things where you're trying to just change who I am as a person, even if we strip the problematic stuff away. When you get to that point of trying to control me, or you said you were going to change, you think I'm going to change in a particular way for you, you got it all wrong. And it's not even a dismissive avoidance thing. That's a thing in general. You cannot force anyone to change for you. You cannot force someone to change in a particular way. You can tell somebody what you like. You can speak about your boundaries and things like that. But the idea of trying to change someone or helping them change in a particular way, trying to steer them, is controlling and manipulation. And when I understand that that's happening, I just start to shut you out. So the ignoring certain issues is the beginning of shutting you out. It's the beginning of shutting down. Because if you continue to bring it up in a roundabout way, again, I'm going to ignore it, or I'm going to address it directly and just let you know that I'm not going to change this behavior. Sometimes the only way to get somebody to change a behavior is for you first to change your behavior. So if you can say something till you're blue in the face, but again, if you're not changing anything, if you're not standing firm in your boundaries, if you're not reinforcing your boundaries, or saying if this doesn't change, and it's not a control issue, then maybe you need to set a deadline for yourself as to when it is that you're going to walk or leave a situation. The other part of this, as I'm looking down at my notebook, is the not being comfortable with the conversation, especially if I'm feeling overly criticized. I'm not going to want to have that conversation with you. And not that you have to coddle me and talk to me in a particular type of way, because I prefer somebody to be very direct, because the more direct you are with me, number one, I know where you stand. I don't have to guess. And number two, I can choose right then and there with a direct person what I'm going to do and what I'm not. And I can directly let somebody know. I love a direct communicator. But if something is uncomfortable to me, I'm going to wait until I am comfortable to discuss it. So now, you're on my time. In my mind, you're on my time when I want to discuss this. Because if it's not comfortable and it's not the right time for me, if it's not in the right place, the setting for me, then, I guess it's just not getting addressed today. So the uncomfortable factor. So then, and as I've mentioned in a previous video with the coldness, it's check the playlist. Sometimes the coldness is awkwardness. Like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to address that. I need a minute to think and process it before I come to you. I'm not going to address it. Not even a little bit. I will not address it until I'm ready to have the conversation. Period, point blank. So a lot of the discussing these important issues, topics, situations, more often than not has to do with a situation being uncomfortable or feeling overly criticized, more than it has to do with me not caring. I typically don't care the majority of the time if I have not emotionally invested. And there's clear signs as to when somebody's not emotionally invested. I could probably do a breakdown of that if you'd like. I guess you have to let me know in the comment section. But yeah, avoiding addressing issues has to do with I don't know that it's an issue, because maybe you're not communicating it well. It's not an issue for me as a person, so it's not on my radar. I can't compute. It doesn't make sense to me. You're gonna have to break it down. Or the situation is really uncomfortable for me, and now's not the right time. So I don't want to drag this video out because we're almost 10 minutes in. So please let me know what resonated with you, other avoidants. People that have dealt with an avoidant, let me know if that sounds like that might be your person. Hit the like button, subscribe, check out my other content, share this video, find me on Instagram. If you would like to talk, I've opened up options for that as well. Find all of that in the description box. And family, I'll be tapping in with you very soon. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.